First off, congratulations. We beat the fucking game. I'm gonna give this game reasonable round of applause. I'm gonna give it a little bit of clap. Little golf clap. Just kind of, there we go, All right. It's time to review. So, listen. This game, I have a lot of mixed feelings, but right now, hype is the main feeling. So, check this out. This game came out. Or not came out. This game was announced like a year and a half ago. I've told this story a few times, but I want to recap this. It's review time, right? Now, this game really hyped me up a lot back when I saw it. A year and a half ago. It was at an E3 before the last one. Quite some time ago. They talked about it. They announced it. They showed a lot of cool, animations up on the wall and shit. And I was instantly like, this is my game. This is my game. Now, fast forwarding like another year or something like that, they had to delay the game. I don't know why, but they delayed it for later in 2022 or early 2022, something like that. And so I completely forgot about the game until we started getting closer and closer and closer, and I had not done any research on it. I had done some demos, and I've seen some people talk about the game. Basically, everybody from the demo and from the whole, research, this game was not supposed to play the way that we just played it. It was supposed to be much more freeform. You were supposed to have a lot more control over your character. You're supposed to be able to kind of mix things up. And Devil May Cry. It was supposed to be more of a Devil May Cry brawling, juggling type of system. So, game comes out a while ago, like what? A couple days ago. I actually beat this really fast. This game came out a couple days ago. I fire up the whole thing. We do the first mission. We do the training back there. And wouldn't you know, it feels really good. It feels a lot more like Batman than any of us really thought it would. But it still felt really, really good. You could do a lot of shit. You could use a lot of different combos. You didn't have to do the same thing. It was very enjoyable as a game. It was very enjoyable. And so right after that first stage, everybody was like, oh, this is Batman. This is Spider-Man. This is Batman. God hand, because you have that dodge. You see the way I'm dodging like crazy, right? So, cue all that up. The entire internet, okay? This is the legend of this game. The whole internet. They had the demo, and they got the first stage. They are all primed, knowing Sifu is this amazing Batman spin. It's Batman, but it's better. It's a better Batman, and everyone's like, this is great. And then everybody gets to the club, which is stage 2. And in stage 2, it introduces enemies who block everything, and enemies who have red attacks, much more often red attacks. Red attacks mean you cannot block it without taking a huge amount of your stamina breakdown, whatever they call that, structure damage. You can dodge it, but it doesn't leave the enemy very, very widely open. Some red things you can parry, but not all of them. And there's no way to tell them the difference between the red stuff. There's no difference. So, a red thing's gonna come out because if you find enough bad guys, eventually you recognize a pattern. And it's like, wow, these guys throw out these red things after this swing, this swing, this swing. Then it comes out, right? So there's a pattern. It's immediate pattern recognition. Now, the problem here, from what we thought in stage 1 to stage 2, trying to tackle the guys in stage 2, there is no way to utilize a lot of your stuff very freely when you have a lot of enemies on screen and they're always blocking. It's very difficult to utilize your new moves, any moves really. It's very difficult. What it all comes down to is that you need to take care of a minion before he can become a hassle. He's going to block a lot, he's going to swing a lot, and while he is swinging at you and you're trying to either dodge or parry, mostly dodge. Most of the time you're going to be dodging in this game. Someone else can come in and attack you. This is a feature that is usually not something that happens in a brawling game. Normally, games are very respectful. If you are being attacked, they give you an instant counter, like Shadows of Mordor, something like that. And so your threat really is just you being perceptive. As long as you see someone's about to attack you, you get an immediate counter and you're safe. This game does not have anything of that sort. Nothing like it. The only thing you really can do is to do the leg sweep. This is back forward, triangle, I guess. Or you could do forward back to get a reverse one. Forward back, or back forward, yeah, is this, and then forward back is that. So you get one behind you and you get one ahead of you. What that does is knock the guy down on the ground, and you can either do two things. Leave him there, and he will stay there for a pretty good chunk of time. Or hold circle, and you will mount and punch, and then if he stays alive, you pull him up to his feet. You're invincible during that whole segment. So it gives you breathing space, it gives you a moment to kind of deduce what's going on, and it also takes the guy out. When you sweep his legs, he's out of the combat for a few precious seconds. You can go do it to someone else. So the game really comes down to like punch, punch, sweep, or a heavy sweep, or just flat out sweeping. A lot of mobs. You're just hitting the basic bad guys with a lot of sweeps. Now, why? Why did they do this? What were they trying to do? It's a brawling game where you have to manage the crowd in a very specific way while recognizing their patterns and realizing that you can't rely on parry, but you also can't really entirely rely on dodge either. Dodge will get you from being hit, but someone else is going to attack if you don't start sweeping people. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Because it should. Pattern recognition, limited combat options, most optimal path being something very easily identifiable. It's a Souls game. It's a Souls game. Now hear me out. Has the same kind of poise system as Sekiro, right? Vin Diesel calls the glorious game Sekiro. So it's got Sekiro poise, or whatever they called it in that one. In this one, it's structure. But it's the same system. As soon as it breaks, you get the instant kill whoever broke their stuff. If they break you, you get a ton of damage done to you, basically. So that is the combat that is expected of you in Stage 2. You have to be able to handle all these mooks, basically, while utilizing this stamina breaking system. So it's no longer about just doing raw damage, because everybody blocks everything. If you're lucky, they won't block one or two. Most of the time, they'll block everything after one or two hits, or they'll just flat out block everything. There's no guard break, so you can't break their guard open and really start attacking. You can't. There's no Batman element. There's just no Batman elements to this. There's no way that you're going to be able to just force your own game plan on basic enemies in Stage 2. It doesn't work. These guys will block everything. They will dodge everything. And then when you try to parry shit, they're going to throw out red stuff, which you're not even really sure if you can or can't parry. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. What's up, Game Boy? Just beat the game. Doing a review. So, you got to understand at this point, in Stage 2, with this revelation that this is not a Batman game, that this is a full-on Souls Sekiro kind of title, the entire internet backlashed like crazy. They, just like me, in my first stream, I was livid that this system was like this, because I was thinking it was Batman. I was thinking it's a Batman-style combat. Spider-Man, Batman, Shadows of Mordor. You are a brawler. You're brawling. You mash a lot of buttons, and you look out for counters and stuff. I, in particular, very specifically, had my heart set on them doing a variation of that significant enough that it would be different, that it would be enjoyable, it would be different. I had a lot of hope. I had a lot of hope. The reason I had a lot of hope is because they quoted a lot of fighting game elements would be present in this game. Fighting game elements is what they called it. So that there would be things you do in a fighting game, apparently, that you would use in this game. Unfortunately, there is no fighting game elements in this game. There's nothing at all fighting game related, other than maybe some pattern recognition, I guess? There are some highs and lows, but the truth of the matter, even though there are some high attacks and there are some low attacks, this right here is me holding the block parry button, well, deflect, I guess, and mashing on down. This takes care of any high, any direct attack, and any attack that attacks overhead or to the side. Every attack in the game is dodged by like this. This is it. It's God Hand. It's flat out God Hand. The only time it doesn't work is when it's a low and you have to do this. But you can cheese the system by just mashing on this all the time, and when this is happening, you just block it. Because you're mashing on this It doesn't matter if they do a low. You don't have to predict it, you know? You could just fucking dodge and then take the stamina hit when the low inevitably connects. Just, even if you're like this, you know, it's not a big deal. Just, you'll be fine. The way these things happen. And you can't predict the lows either. You can't react. That's the main problem here. You can't react to a low. A lot of the times the low come out at random. They will just happen. Half the time, it is a low that is part of an attack stream, but later in the game, when you get past stage 2, they start throwing out random lows. Just out of nowhere. So this becomes the problem. Why are they saying there are fighting game-like tendencies in this game when you can't react to anything? And even though there's a high and low, it's essentially nullified by the fact that you can just dodge everything with down. And you don't want to really parry anything either, so there's no, like, I don't know, third strike parry mechanic. It's not really necessary. What up, Exotic Elf? Oh my god. I'm sorry you're rating at this time. I just got done. I'm actually wrapping things up. I just beat this game. Damn. Give me a second. I'm pooping out of thought. Thank you very much. So I just beat this game. I'm giving it my review. So just a heads up, if anyone's chilling, if anyone's been playing Sifu, you might want to abandon. You might want to jump out because I'm talking end game. I just beat it, turned into an old man, all that shit. So I'm really mulling over the thought process. Good to see you though, Exotic. I hope you had a good day there. How did you like the game? So I did like the game, but what I'm trying to say here, right, is like there was this big impact with this game. This game came out.
You bucket of bullshit.
Thanks for the follow there, farting Jesus. This game had a huge following when it came out. Lots of people were super into this idea. Fighting game, brawling game. It was supposed to be like a really innovative process. But it ended up not being that. It really is just a Souls game. It's a Souls game of pattern recognition, and that's all you need to do is recognize patterns. If de facto, once you get to the boss on the second stage, you have to just mash on the dodge until you recognize the patterns, and then you punish accordingly. When they whiff, there's no parrying anything. There's no using different combos. You can kind of use some of your combo skills that you develop. This stuff here, you could kind of use some of these things to actually get like a new deal, right? That's kind of like you dodge something and then you get a little extra damage. Normally, you would just have to dodge and maybe take a heavy shot or something like that. So you can get a little bit more damage out, but the core is that you are just repeating this pattern recognition process and waiting for your ability to punish them, and that's it. So it really was like this massive shift, right? Like it came out, everybody was expecting Batman combat. We got Sekiro. We got Batman. Totally blew everybody's mind. The internet, absolute meltdown on this shit. It was crazy. And I was part of the meltdown. When I had the first stream, Game Boy was here. I lost my shit real bad. I blew up super bad. Because I was like, why? This isn't Batman. This is straight up, this is Bizarro. Like, I can't figure out what to do. Every time I would dodge something, I get hit over here. There's no, like, counter. If I'm being attacked by someone else can just wander off camera and smack me in the back of the head. I can't do nothing about it. Until I realized it's a Souls game. And you gotta just sweep these guys so they stay on the ground and you're safe. You know, as long as they're on the ground, they can't mess with you. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry that you're raining during the middle of a rant. It's nerd time in the House of Lothire. Thank you so much for the sub, Farting Jesus. What a legendary name. I always hoped that some figure that was very flatulent would subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Please enjoy the spinning robot. It's a really fucking sick-ass emote. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I started this game pissed. Even talked to Game Boy. He was enjoying my rage, like, because I expected something amazing, right? I was like, this is gonna revolutionize brawling games. You know, like the way that Shadows of Mordor came out and blended Assassin's Creed with Batman. I was like fucking losing my mind. Oh dear God. Hey, wait a minute. You do know that, like, this isn't exotic stream anymore. This isn't an erotic stream anymore, man. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you so much, man. That's very nice. I'm sorry that you guys came in at such an awkward time. And the truth is, I'm actually kind of done. Like, I just beat the game. And so I'm reviewing the game. I'm trying to kind of poop out my thoughts while they're fresh, right? So, but I guess that really covers it. I mean, this is the thing, right? That's the main bullet point of this game. It's a Souls game. You gotta play it like Sekiro. You're parrying every once in a while, but you're mostly just dodging and waiting for your turn to happen. Oh gosh. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? How am I going to put this shit on my empty YouTube if there's this blasting alerts in the background? Do I gotta show you my titties? I missed some shit. Sombrew, I'm sorry, pal. You were asking questions and I was losing my mind. So, what did you say? What are your thoughts on the part of the game, even though we came late? Oh, the story of the game. You know, it's a pretty cool kung fu story. I mean, I don't know if you guys like kung fu or what, but you know, kung fu is cool. I love old martial arts flicks and stuff like that. I'm fucking sweating my balls off right now. Maybe because my name is Marshall, I guess. But I love martial arts. I've always loved the flicks. You know, Jackie Chan, old school Jet Li and stuff like that. That stuff has always been cool. This has absolutely stabbed me in the heart in terms of, like, I love the aesthetics. I love the appeal of the game. And I mean, even if I get past the initial bulk of my concern, which was, this isn't a Batman game, this is a Souls game, I actually really enjoyed this game. I think this game is fun. I think it's fun. It's really, really fun. I don't think it's good, though. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. They're asking for $40 for this game. It's not worth 40. Even if you're like a Sekiro fan, even if you're a Souls fan and you know all about pattern recognition shit, it just, the mechanics are not solid. You know, you could dodge shit and sometimes it just flat out won't work. It's really crazy. It's not solid. It has a wonderful vision. The game has a wonderful vision, but it has absolutely no focus. It does not come into focus at all throughout the entire game. Yeah, I liked it well enough. I think the story, it's basically Kill Bill. I mean, it's just killing shit. So we did beat the game. I show on myself even off stream. We beat the game, right? But we got the basic kung fu ending, right? There's actually a secret ending to this game where, and again, spoilers if you guys are actually playing the game, which I hope you're not, you can actually beat the bosses in this game by foregoing the execution move so you don't break them in half. You gotta do that, and then you gotta hit them a bunch more times and then get them into that state again and then not break them in half again. So you gotta stagger break them or structure break them, let them recover, and then structure break again. And if you do that, thanks yet again for another gifted 17 gifted subs today. Thanks, man. If you do that, you will actually not kill the boss. The boss will go about his merry business. You have forgiven him for his sins of killing your dad, and apparently you have to do that for all the bosses. No way in hell. No way in hell. If you guys want to see a real fucking fight, if you want to see a dude way too into a video game, go check out this VOD, this stream earlier. The duel I had with this last guy was a mix of parries and dodges, and I had to piecemeal and figure out, is this a dodge move or is this a parry move? I had to figure it out, and I still died a bunch and became an old man, but I killed him. I got him, so, you know, eventually it worked out. But it was pretty tight, actually. It was pretty intense. It's fun. It's just not a good game. This is going to be free to play on PlayStation Network. It's going to be $10 in, like, you know, a handful of months. And I can't really blame them because it's the dudes behind Absolver did this game. And they just did Absolver in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just made Absolver Dark Souls edition. It's really quite unfortunate. I really was expecting a huge shakeup to the brawling genre, but it's just Souls. It's unfortunate. I don't know. It's still. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm still upset. I was expecting a brand new take on a classic beat 'em up brawling genre. And all I got was Kung Fu Sekiro, you know? It's like, damn. Sucks. It sucks. What were you gonna do? Thanks again, Farting Jesus. Let me see if I can switch this shit out, you know? This was fun. I had a lot of fun learning this shit, and, you know, thank you for listening to me rant for fucking, I don't know, an hour or some shit about this. It's just really, man, it's my kind of game. These kind of games are my kind of game. I love Kung Fu shit.